Hello, my friends. This is your happy stamper lady, Rachel Markin, helping the creative you shine through. Welcome to Out of the Box. I know it's a week late, but the snow has melted here, and my paper pumpkin finally was able to arrive. So let's go check out my Facebook page real quick. So on here last week, if you were able to catch it or go back and check out the extra video I gave you about the panel cards, I was able to post several different types of panel cards and you guys got to vote on them just for fun, just to show you different things that I make and things that you can create as well with all different kinds of paper. This is my demonstrator website, and here you can order at any time. And this week, the Butterfly Brilliance Suite that I introduced to you last week in my So Now What video goes live. So you can order that for yourself. Super exciting. Hello, my friends. And of course, I can help you. If you ever have questions or you want to order but you're not really sure where to start, I will gladly help you. Paper Pumpkin is a great place to start, by the way. It's a kit that comes to your door for $22. Now, this is in the United States, so I will preface that. But for $22, that includes shipping, that includes tax. This little box comes to your door every single month. And you can stop, start, pause, start again. So they're very flexible. And I always advertise kind of like what it's going to look like. I myself don't know the whole kit, but I advertise what it's going to look like to kind of look ahead for you. So it is a super great way for avid stampers, for people who stamp over the moon like I do, where I love everything. It's very fun for me, and it's very fun for beginner stampers. It's great for moms and kids together. Super great for school projects, to do art at home. The possibilities are endless with Paper Pumpkin. So this is a great way to go. That's what Out of the Box means, is Paper Pumpkin Week. Now, we're a week behind only because of the weather here in Ohio, which I have been feeling in my face. I think at the beginning of last week, we were in negative temperatures, I'm pretty sure. And then like today, it's like 50 some degrees. It's Ohio. Crazy Ohio. So what happens in a paper pumpkin kit? I pulled out some of my stuff that I'm going to use, but in a paper pumpkin kit, you get directions. So it gives you, okay, you're going to make these 3 cards, and it actually gives you step-by-step directions on exactly what to use in the kit. Everything is provided for you, by the way. You don't even need glue. It provides like little baby glue dots for you, like these tiny little glue dots. I mean, it provides everything. Now, you would need scissors if you needed to cut something, but they assume you have scissors. And the first time you order, they give you a block. Now, I like to use my B and D blocks that I have, but a block is provided the first time you order Paper Pumpkin. After that, a block is not provided. And they always provide 1 ink spot for you that you can use. Sometimes for out of the box, the only extra things that I use, white paper, that's kind of a given. I use white paper sometimes to stretch it, and sometimes I'll add stamp pads, which is what I did today. But that is it. Everything else is in the kit. And realize that you can make the kit exactly as it comes, and you need to have no extra. My goal is to kind of show you some other ways that you can use the kit. It also comes with a full set of stamps every single time. Paper Pumpkin is pretty amazing, and it comes with beautiful like little pop outs that you can use. I'm just kind of pulling all of these over to the side just so that we can have them. And it also, I mean, it just keeps going. It also provides envelopes for you, and these envelopes are always beautiful. They've got like their own little liner inside. That is all part of Paper Pumpkin, you guys. It is really well done. A little bit of string, a little bit of bling. Bling's always good in my opinion. And then like even pop out tags for you. So when I say it provides everything, I mean literally it provides everything. Look at these beautiful like little doily pieces that it provides. This is vellum this time. This is all the kit, you guys. This is everything that has come in the kit. This is no extra from me. So my extra, and then this is stickers. My extra Magic box empty. So Paper Pumpkin is my idea of magic box that I show you every month, but it comes right to your door, which I love. And so it's talking about the flower and fields, which was celebration, and then it's going to show you next month's Paper Pumpkin, which is going to give you 4 free stencils and a free sponge. So March, you still have time. You have March the 10th to sign up for the Paper Pumpkin for that. Super, super exciting, you guys. So the Paper Pumpkin originally came with these cards, different ones. They're already cut up. So there was a full pink card, there was a full this card, and this was the back of that card. So that was your card stock, okay, that you could fold. And I have cut it up and made it my DSP, which I told you up there. So I have actually cut up all of the card stock and made it my DSP. Why did I do that? Because I like to stretch it. I like to reimagine what I have. Now, like I said, there's a lot of videos out there. So this is what I mean when I say cut it up. You cut it up and then we're going to cut it. You could cut up into strips. There's a lot of videos out there that will literally take the box and say, here we go, we're going to make the box together, and you can just make it straight from the box and go. My idea is to take it a little bit further and take it out of the box, but to show you that you're only adding a few supplies. And when I say few, it's usually white cardstock. Now today I added different color stamp pads. I added Mary Merlot Rococo Rose because those are my kind of look. It came with Mossy Meadow, and I will tell you right now that you could do everything I'm doing with Mossy Meadow. And so you don't even have to add a stamp pad. You would use the Mossy Meadow and just add white cardstock. That is it. That is the only extra that I'm adding. And I love that because that gives you so many options. And I figure most people have white cardstock at home. Oh, the other thing that it includes is dimensionals. Now, these have been pretty used up because I've done most of my kit already, which you will see. I'll show you all those. So what I start with for my card base, super, super simple, 11 inches by 4 1/4. The end, white cardstock, the end. If you don't want to add anything else but the white cardstock, you're good to go. You're golden, and it's all done for you. And I love that. I truly, truly love that. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put some stamps on my blocks, and I'm going to take this bouquet that they have given, and I'm going to put that in a block because I'm going to randomly stamp, and I'm going to stamp all 3 at one time. I'm going to randomly stamp my cards, and I'm going to go ahead and randomly stamp my envelopes just because that is how I like to do, because assembly line. So you know me, I like to have that assembly line feeling. So I am going to pull out my Stamparatus because I like having that as my base at all times when I'm stamping. You do not have to have a Stamparatus in order to make these cards, but it is my favorite. And it is a one-time purchase. And it is a worthwhile purchase. You will never have to purchase it again. So that's my little like Stamparatus should be your friend moment for you. But I do indeed love my Stamparatus. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Rococo Rose, and I'm going to take this lovely bouquet. On this one I'm going to only stamp on the inside. Outside is not needed for this particular card. And I'm just randomly stamping around in my Rococo Rose, which is a beautiful lighter pink. So it's not as vibrant just yet, but it is lovely, and it's going to add a pop when we add in our Mary Merlot. So I'm doing that actually on all 3 of my cards. We're going to make 3 cards today out of the 3 main images that the Paper Pumpkin provided each of you. And then I'm going to show you that I continue to stretch my Paper Pumpkin, and I made even more, which is my favorite. That's my favorite. Now, while I've got the envelope, I'm also going to come over and I'm going to do my Rococo Rose on my envelopes. Why? Because I like to do what I call assembly line stamping, which simply means that I want to have to clean my stamps the least possible and get as much done as I can with the pieces that I have. That's all that means when I say assembly line stamping. And there you go on your beautiful envelopes. Isn't that absolutely lovely? Now, I'm going to close that Rococo rose and I'm going to clean that off. Then we're going to come back with Mary Merlot and we're literally going to kind of shadow effect what we did on the Rococo rose, and it really pulls out the Rococo rose with the Mary Merlot. So when I say shadow effect, I'm kind of going up on the sides of where I did that, and look at what that does with the Rococo rose. It's a really quite beautiful effect. When you start with the lighter and go to the darker, it really helps pull out that light color. Are you seeing how beautiful that is? Really a lovely little shadow effect that I absolutely love. In this bouquet, this is showing you a different way to look at the bouquet because you've got all this stuff at the bottom. I don't even touch that. Now, the nice thing is with Paper Pumpkin is that once you're done with the Paper Pumpkin kit, you have a stamp set that goes on, and you have a stamp pad because you get a stamp pad every single time as well. And so what does that mean for you? You're building up your own little stamp supply every time Paper Pumpkin comes in. How brilliant is that? You got to love that you're going to build up your own supply of stamps. So do you see what's happening here as we go around? Now, all of a sudden, we have this really beautiful, full-on card. I love it so much. So that's one of the cards ready to go. Then I'm going to flip this because it starts to get, when it starts to get congested like that, it can go back on your card. Well, obviously you don't want to have smudgies on your card. So just flip your paper over. Super, super simple. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing here. Oh, you guys, isn't it gorgeous? I fell in love with this whole look that we have going on here. I absolutely adore it. Yes. Okay, then that card is ready. And for our last card, we're going to do the same thing to start with. So this is just the starting process. When you start to put cards together and you're like, oh, I really like that. I like what I see there. Then on this one, we're actually going to stamp on both of those corners like that. Okay, that's just one of the cards. I'm going to stamp around on the corner like that. Then some of the pieces I've cut. Now remember, this was the actual cards themselves that I've cut. I'm also going to take that Mary Merlot and I'm going to put it onto the pieces of what I'm now calling DSP. They were cardstock, but they were your actual card bases. But now I have created them to be your DSP, which I adore. So I'm doing that as well. We're almost done with all of our cuteness. So I'm going to come over here and just do a light little bit on this tag. And then while we've got the Mary Merlot out, we are going to add to our tags. Now, you could use your plates at this time if you wanted to stamp that, if you feel like you couldn't stamp it straight on. Depends on my mood if I do that or not, depending on where I'm at. So that one and that one. Okay, so the only card, so one of the cards that's like this, I need to actually stamp those words inside. And then guess what? We're done with stamping. Now we're going to be assembling. This says I'll always be here for you. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. That's so pretty. All right, now we're going to play. Now we're going to play with all the great bits and pieces that came in this kit. So the first card that we're going to make, I will show you, is this. It's the Thinking of You. The white on the white, I thought really was actually very stunning, to be honest. So with that, with the vellum, I am not always a fan of these little guys. There's nothing wrong with them. I just happen to like my glue, which I am pulling out over here. I realized I still had it over there. But for vellum, these teeny tiny little glue dots are kind of magical. Now I am using my pick-a tool. If you don't have one of those, it's fine. You can pull them off of there. I just find that I'm fidgety and it takes me forever to pull these little dots off. A little sharp pair of scissors will work to pull them off as well. What you're going for is it's a teeny tiny little glue dot is what they have provided you there. That is what you are putting on there. And they actually work perfect for the vellum because you can't see them. Vellum is easy to see through, so the little glue dots are actually the perfect little complementary piece to that. And you always get those, I shouldn't say always, but I think in every kit I've ever had, you get one of those. So I'm never sad about that. So on the inside of this card, I'm going to take one of those pieces. I'm just going to cut it a little bit smaller over here that I had. And I'm actually going to put that inside while I let those glue dots sit for just a brief moment. And I'm going to take my glue. Time for a new one. I'm going to take my glue. And I'm just going to attach that little piece underneath my saying. And then the inside of my card is actually done. And because we already did that assembly line effect, my envelope is done as well. So do you see the beauty of the assembly line effect? Okay, and then look at how beautiful that card is inside. Beautiful, beautiful card. Okay, then I am also going to take, well, I've got it here. I've got my two little flowers. I'm going to go ahead and put dimensionals on those because I know I'm going to use them as dimensionals, and I might as well do that on my bouquet. So again, do you see the idea of the assembly line? Like I start pulling my pieces together and I'm like, well, I know I want dimensionals on all that, so I might as well go ahead and put dimensionals on all the things that I want to have with the dimensionals, which means, so I'm going to do my little tags. Now, this tag I did want to show you while I have it here. This tag, it comes in the kit, but it does match a tag we have in the main catalog. And so that's really nice when they do that. You like a shape, you can be like, oh, well, I actually really like that tag. Well, you can get it out of the main catalog. And I love that as well. Okay, one more thing with the dimensionals. We might as well go ahead and do this little guy with the dimensionals as well. All right, let's come back to our happy little vellum place. Now with the vellum, I am going to put it on here. Yeah, you can see that really well. What you're looking for here is you're popping off. You don't want to pop off the glue dot. You can actually see the glue dot underneath. You can't see it on the film, but when you're doing it, that's what you're going for. Make sure you're popping off the cover of the glue dot, but not popping the glue dot off. It's a tricky little moment, but totally worth it. When you see how all of this comes together, you're going to be like, oh, that's really pretty. So I love that. When you get all the supplies, that's what I love about Paper Pumpkin, you guys. You probably are like, man, she's so excited about out of the box all the time. I really am, because when they provide all that stuff, I can't provide that for you for $22, including shipping and tax. I can't provide something like that for you, but I sure can stamp with you, and we can do kits together, which I adore. So, all right, so with the vellum, now you've got your little dots. Excuse my head just a minute. I just want to make sure that I am pretty straight on. Nothing like a crooked card. That would bug me. Okay, and then there's your vellum down, ready to go. Now, the thinking of you that they provided, I'm not even going to pretend. I think it's French and German, and then the thinking of you, I don't know. I don't speak I don't speak French or German, so I'm not sure. Now here's the thing with this. This is a sticker. You see that I am very slowly trying to peel it off, and what I'm doing when I peel that off is I'm trying to leave behind the filler parts of the letters. Put another one on there. This is one of the trickiest parts, which is hilarious because it's just a sticker, but because it's such a big sticker, you have to be very careful. One, you don't want to rip your sticker, and you want to get it pulled off nicely so you can put it onto your card. So I found that I really had to take my time with this. I was laughing because I was like, good gravy. It's taking me forever to pull off my silly little sticker, but I wanted to do it properly and get all the, so there's like a little circle in the U. Get that off. Leave that behind. Yeah, I was really, the stickers, it was tricky for me. It's beautiful when it's on there though, so I love it. And it's a beautiful piece. To provide big stickers like this is something you'd have to cut out with a die cut, which is fine, but you know, so they're giving you like all sorts of wonderful items that you would have to have a lot of different machines and pieces for to use on your card. So I love that. Okay, here we go. Now you can put their thinking of you any way you want. I kind of liked it sideways, and I started, if I got the TH down, the rest you kind of push along. Sorry, excuse my head. I know I'm like staring down, but there's really no other way to get that down. Ta-da! Thinking of you. Look how gorgeous that is. And the O part still had an O, but you know, we'll survive. It's fine. And then these flowers, these were pop outs. They just were these cute little pop outs, and I thought that they looked gorgeous on each side of the thinking of you. And guess what? Card number 1 is done. Is that not gorgeous? You just did it on the way cardstock, and then the cards that they provide you with become your DSP. Now, on this one, the DSP is much smaller, but we're going to get to one that is pretty fabulous. So on this one, what we're going to do, okay, is the doily that they provided, but we are also going to use, this is a piece of the cardstock that becomes your DSP, so that's what I'm talking about when I talk about that. It becomes your DSP. And so what I did is when I cut strips, these bigger strips are about 1.5 inches cut on the cardstock that's already cut for you. So I mean, you just cut your card in half like I showed you, and then flip it sideways. So you flip it this way, you cut it at 1.5 inches. Perfect, it fits perfectly. Then what I found, which I've got over here, I've got like a little pile of doodads. So then I had all these like little extra strips, which I loved. And so I'm going to do that, and then let me cut that real quick because that's at 4 1/4. Oh, no, I think I have one. I think I found one. Ta-da! Done. So the width this way is 4 1/4 because that's what your card is. When you look up there, it's your card base. So you know that you're cutting it at 4 1/4. That part's done. And then you can just cut little strips, bits and pieces. Obviously, there's no right or wrong. It's whatever you enjoy, to be honest. Okay, so then there's that. And then for the inside of this card, I think I'm going to cut that down just slightly and put it inside. Okay, and this is one that we stamped on. This is another card. You guys, we just made everything into our DSP. That's actually all we did. Okay, and I'm going to put that inside. Now, I'm going to leave these blank. I think that you could do some really pretty writing inside. You don't always have to have words inside and outside. And in fact, I just had a friend, which this is super exciting, who wanted to purchase some of my cards, which I enjoy. And so she wanted to purchase a dozen cards. And she wanted some that were blank inside. So all I did with the glue is I went around that little edge on the outside and the middle section. so that I can put my doily down in the middle. Now I will tell you, I always have them, unfortunately, because you know I am sneezing all the time, but I like to have a tissue when I'm putting this down because I like to not have my hands all over that doily if possible. And then the other part with the doily is I'm going to use this little guy to go on top. I'll always be here for you. Look how beautiful that is. So there's the second card already because we already had the inside done. So there's card number 2. Now I will show you with that particular card, I did the doily both ways. So there's 3 doilies. You get 9 cards out of this. I end up getting about 15 or 16 cards by using the white and using the strips. But so there's the doily going both ways. Isn't that beautiful? And then, of course, there's our Thinking of You card that we have completed as well. So we're like on our way. So there's already 6 cards, you guys, that are done if you're doing assembly line and you're just kind of snapping them along. Okay, for our final card, I'm super excited about this one, you guys, because I just think it turned out so well. Okay, so we have these strips. Need to cut another one. And actually, I like that. In the middle, that's really cute. Okay, so I need to cut another strip over here at 1.5. Okay, because that's what we're doing with our strips. So all of these strips are about 1.5 inches. And in fact, I think I'm gonna do this. And I love that, and I'll put that there. Okay, so these strips are at 1.5, and we're gonna go ahead and glue them down. And this one I did a little differently because I added another pop of one of the strips inside a strip, which I thought was just gonna give it a little extra. And you've got extra when you're cutting your card bases up and you make them your DSP. You definitely have a little bit of wiggle room to have some extra fun pieces. So you might as well enjoy them and make them fun. That's my opinion anyway. Okay, so what I do when I'm doing this, sorry, you guys know that I'm like weird about how I have to place my paper and turn it around. What I'm doing with this is I am doing the strips so they kind of feel like they're even across the way. That's kind of what I'm looking for on that. But I like the idea of the 3 strips. I think it really pulls something out in the whole card, to be honest. Okay, so you've got that going on. Then remember the big bouquet, it came in the kit. So you've got the beautiful big bouquet that already has your dimensionals on it, right? And you're going to set that down. Hello. And then look what you're going to do here. Now, what I did like to do here, and I think that looks actually gorgeous, is I like that to pop up, that stem piece. I like that to pop up underneath. So I kind of like lift it a little bit and then slide my words underneath. And you could even put a little bit of glue. You could put a little glue out there if you want to. And then on the inside of this one, I didn't do anything, but you have strips that you could put on there if you wanted to. And voila, you guys, you are done with your cards. Now I will tell you, my friend Teresa Jackson, she was able to bring her piece over and we were able to do them together, and she walked away. I think she walked away with 12 cards just in a couple of hours. We were just sitting here doing it together, and that's what I want to do with Paper Pumpkin Clubs. So let me show you the main cards, and then I'm going to show you the extra cards that I made. But that's your out of the box. It's so simple. And what did I use? White cardstock. White cardstock. Now, I use the 2 extra colors, but everywhere where I stamped I'll always be here for you, and everywhere I stamped those flowers, you could easily do the Mary Merlot, but if you have another color that you wanted to use, there you go. Okay, so you get 3 of those cards, right? You get 3 of this card, which I think is so elegant, right? You get 3 of, let's move that over so you can see. There you go. You get 3 of the Thinking of You cards, and already right there, it's totally worth it. $22, and you walk away 9 cards, and then you keep your stamp set and you keep your stamp pad. You can't go wrong with that. But, and remember, you have your envelopes. Don't forget your matching envelopes that you have going on in there. Then, are you ready? So then I used, is that the only one I made like that? Yep, that's the only one I made like that. So then I just started using my strips of paper. Everything's about the same inside. So I used my strips of paper. Boom. Hello to that happiness. Look at all of these. So I did 2 of those and I did 2 of those. Are you guys loving it? This is Paper Pumpkin. This is out of the box. I love it. I'll tell you, my mama would have loved these Paper Pumpkin kits. This last week was her birthday. I was really struggling, feeling very sad, but I got together with my dad and got together with both of my kids, and my son's girlfriend came as well, and it was just a really nice time. It just felt like it was just a nice time to take a moment and celebrate my mom, which is what it's all about, right? So there you go. There's our out of the box. Let's go to the front screen here. Well, I hope that you enjoyed that. I know it's a week late. Thank you for staying with me on that. I really couldn't help the snow. We were inundated with snow. Now they're talking about maybe some more. It's like 50 degrees right now, and they're talking about more snow. Anyway, it's Ohio. So if you have questions about that, I will put it in the link, but it's paperpumpkin.com. You put me, Rachel Markin, as your demonstrator, and then it comes right to your door, and then we can talk about it. If you live close to me, we can talk about doing groups and clubs with Paper Pumpkin, because that makes me super happy as well. So until I see you next week in Simply Fantastic with our new March Madness Butterflies and Flowers theme, what am I going to tell you to do? Go and make the world a better place, my friend. We need to be a voice of kindness. We need to be a voice of care and share with the world around us. And until I see you next week, I bid you adieu.